This is the assembly of the Steady Shot Tripod, and it comes to you unassembled with all the parts that you see laying here. The one you have probably does not have the fine adjustment knobs unless you have ordered it that way. The parts that you see here are the leg assemblies, which are the wooden parts, the leg tubes, which are these black parts, and they slide up and down to adjust to whatever size you'd like. The chain links. There's one of them with the chain link, and it's attached already to the threaded bolt, and it has the chain retainer on it along with the pivot and the pivot knob. The smaller cradle is the rear cradle. This is the bottom casting, and this is the top casting, and these two parts here are what basically make the Steady Shot able to adjust as smoothly as it does. Assorted nuts and bolts to put it together. And then these are your upper tubes to where the rifle will actually set on. And this is the carrying strap. So we'll take all these parts and we'll show you how easy it is to assemble. To assemble the Steady Shot Tripod, you start off with the bottom casting. You need the threaded bolt also, and in the middle of it you'll see that there is a Loctited nut on it that won't move. The short section of the threaded bolt goes down through the bottom casting. On the bottom of that, you use the carrying strap mount. It slides up to the bottom, and then just use a 7/16 bolt and tighten that in place using the 7/16 wrench. Under that, the chain retainer slides on, and then there's a long 7/16 bolt that slips on the bottom. You don't need to tighten that up. You can adjust that to wherever you want it after you have the legs on. So that's all for the first part. After you have the bottom casting assembly together, as you just saw, get your leg assembly and remove your leg tube out of it. It makes it much easier for this part. Set that down. And then when you put the leg assembly on, face your chain towards the center and put it into here. You're going to use carriage bolts along with a wing nut and washer to assemble each side. When you attach these, you want to attach the carriage nut from the inside out as such. Slide it out through, put the washer on and a wing nut. You'll do both sides. Here's why it's easier to take out the leg tube, because you can spread this much easier to get the carriage bolt in through in the center. You'll repeat this procedure for all 3 sets of legs. Tighten these up snugly, and that way the legs will stand securely. After you do that, the next thing we're going to do is slide the leg tubes back up in, and they simply slide up through here. And then to hold these in place, you simply turn these wing nuts here at whatever height you want. And you'll repeat this process for all 3 of the legs too. Now we can set this off to the side since it's completed. Next we're going to be doing the top casting, and we're going to install the upper tubes. When you do this, make sure the holes line up accordingly. Whichever set of holes you decide to do, you'll want to use for both of them. And we'll use the stainless steel screws into the top casting where you just tighten it down. And just repeat this for both sides. Now once these are secured, just take your upper assembly and set it right on top, and you'll see it already has the action that we're looking for. Next thing, we'll place the pivot down into the top. Take the solid washer, put it on first, put the urethane washer on next, and then simply put the pivot knob on top there. Screw it on. The next part we're going to do is attach the chains. This will keep the legs from kicking out. Just snap them right into the holes on the chain retainer. Next we're going to put the rear cradle on and simply loosen up the back of it to where this is loose. Down to where you want it. I like to keep it a few inches, about 3 inches away from the back. Next I'm going to put the front cradle on, and just works the same way. Loosen that up and slide it on. The last thing to do is to attach the carrying strap, and it simply hooks on to the eyelet up here, and then the other end just hook onto any of the chain links down low, and you're ready to pick up and carry it away.